I'm not sure if you've taken the time to read The Atlantic's profile of Heidi Cruz, the wife of Republican Senator Ted Cruz, but if you haven't, please go read that article. The reason for that is not because Heidi Cruz is a highly interesting individual or maybe gives us some better insight into Ted Cruz. No, it's because you will read a story of a woman who not only hates her husband, but clearly hates her entire life. The big takeaway from this Atlantic profile of Heidi Cruz is that this woman is unhappy with every horrible decision that she has made. And though she made those decisions for her husband, and she has regretted it every day since then. You almost feel sorry for her. You shouldn't, and I'll get to the reason why in just a moment. But here's the thing. You've seen a lot of stories going around the last day and a half, people analyzing this story and mocking her for the statement that Ted Cruz only gets paid $174,000 a year as a senator. You know, we're not buying our second home anytime soon, Heidi says, because she has to be the breadwinner of the family and bring home the big paycheck. Because Ted Cruz only makes $174,000 a year. But if she's the breadwinner, and so her paychecks each year are more than $174,000, that still puts them over 7 times more money each year, at least, than the average American household who makes under $60,000 per year. Does she not understand that? I mean, this woman is actually an investment manager at Goldman Sachs with a net worth of close to $5 million. And she's whining about the fact that we're not close to buying our second home anytime soon. That's a lie. Heidi Cruz could go out today and buy no fewer than 10 homes that each cost more than the average American home. And they would still be perfectly fine financially. $174,000 in Ted's take-home pay is almost 3 times as much as the average American family makes in an entire year. And you, Heidi, as an investment manager at Goldman Sachs, make more than Ted does. You're absolutely despicable. You're just as greasy and slimy as him because the only thing you care about is money. And that's the other big takeaway from the article. Heidi Cruz is unhappy with her life because she gave up her ambitions to an extent. Again, she still works for Goldman Sachs, but they left D.C. to go to Texas. She left her friends, she left her family, she left her job there to go to Texas. She's still working with Goldman Sachs, and it's hard. And I understand that part of it. You know, that is a big risk, especially when you're risking it for a guy like Ted Cruz. And she even admitted at one point, you know, when they had kind of first moved out there a little while after that, she walked out basically almost on the freeway and just started sobbing to the point where a passerby called the police. They came and got her, and they did determine at the time that she was a danger to herself. So we're talking about his wife might have possibly been ready to kill herself, according to the officers who came there, because she was so unhappy with the decision she had made to follow Ted Cruz and his ambition while giving up hers. Now, here's the reason why I don't think you should feel sorry for Heidi Cruz. And it's because they have 2 daughters, and they have ruined those 2 daughters. One part of the article talks about the fact that they were telling their daughters when Ted Cruz was running for president that Heidi was going to quit her job and work full-time for Daddy's campaign. One of the daughters, Caroline, who was 7 years old at the time, asked her, "Mommy, if you win, are you going to get paid to be First Lady? Are you going to get paid?" And she said, "Well, no, I'm not." And the little girl said, "Well, then that's a bad deal for you. We shouldn't do this." At 7 years old, they've already taught their child to value money over anything else. So yeah, I don't feel any sympathy that Heidi Cruz is upset because she married a piggish, slimy scumbag and that she gave up her ambitions, which clearly was also just the love of money, because that's what she keeps coming back to in this profile. Money and success for her. Money and success. As she briefly mentioned, I left my family, I left my friends, but I left this career. You want to be a career person and go chase money? Whatever, fine, go do it. But you have kids and you're teaching them that money is the most important thing on the planet, and nothing could be further from the truth. I think the biggest takeaway from this entire article is that, yeah, Ted Cruz is a walking, talking piece of crap. And his wife Heidi isn't much better.